Jesus, it's a hell of a long time here. We never got high tea in a low table. I remember too, when I started, there was no one Elevenses, Marcella. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I was the instigator getting the Elevenses. Mary Curie was around the corner, and we used to go for these lovely buns.
Used to the scones.
And we used to go upstairs. We used to heat the buns in the microwave. We'd have bread and cream.
I never know anything about this. That's what you stole it. That's what you hear.
That's why your moustache are growing.
Upstairs
cream over the years.
When we decided to open the shop below in Rosemary Square, we said we'd go in and we look for a premises. And only then did we discover there was no premises available. We searched, we were shown every little hokey pokey spot, but none of them was suitable. And so after going through the whole town, we decided anyway, after a while, we'd abandon it. And we'd come back at it again maybe in another while or a month or 2 months' time. And I was sitting down at home one evening looking at the Midland Tribune. And that time they had little 1-inch box ads you could put in. And down in the bottom of it was for rent shop in Rosemary Square.
1982.
1982.
Yeah, 1982.
But the one unique thing about it was, from the day we opened the shop, it was the luckiest shop. And I remember all my life that my mother used to always say, if a place is not lucky, don't go near the place. But this happened to be the luckiest spot. From the day we opened the shop, we had customers.
We had great customers, absolutely. You know, people support us. They came in. This was new in town, and like for two people who weren't natives of Rossgrey, just out the road. The townspeople were delighted to see an extra shop in town, and they supported us from day one.
How did I end up here?
Well, you're mentioning the wrong story now, Liam. You're coming from behind.
Well, I'll tell you how I ended up.
There's a saga there about that, Liam, because there was always a little bit of I want to say there was a thing between Rossgrey and Burr, you see, and down the years. We put in an interview for a person inside the shop, and that was in 1984, and that was the year of that terrific Offaly hurling team. They won the All-Ireland that year. It was an absolutely marvellous team.
Sorry, Ponty, they didn't win.
Oh, did they not win that year?
No,
Lost.
they did not.
Sorry,
we lost. It was the centenary All-Ireland final.
Well,
Yes.
whatever it was.
And it's Offaly and Tipperary now. Forget about Burr and Rossgrey.
Okay. And so we had an interview.
And Tipperary didn't like Offaly.
Because
we were in the centenary final with Cork, and unfortunately we were beaten badly, and we were waiting on the team to come back.
The team was due to come back to Burr, probably in the eventime 8 o'clock, wherever it was. But the team was late, of course, as happens. And in the meantime, Marcella had an interview with this crowd over in Rossgrey called Mullally's. And while there was nothing going on in Burr, she came back over, her sister came back over to Burr, over to Rossgrey, and for the interview. And
it's history after
the rest is history after that. Like.
I started in 97, but I was already in electrical here. In 72 I started in O'Donnell's Electrical, and the boss man passed away down there, and his son ran it for about 2 years after that, and he decided to close up. So I came up to the opposition up the main street then.
Well, there was a guy called Frank Larkin,
That's
Lord
right.
mercy in him, and he came up here and he said, "There's a great girl below in O'Donnell's, don't let her go." And ever since, I took his advice.
I remember going in very naive, after being in the drapery. As I said, I hardly knew what a plug top was, and to come in and see these lads coming in looking for brass nipples and they were looking for bladders, and I had no idea what these were.
It was a change from skirts.
It was a change from skirts
and
right.
brass.
Exactly. Yeah.
As business was developing below, we were continuously stuck for space, and we didn't have any room to expand as such. And we started looking around for a place, and that time again it was getting a bit harder to get places on the main street. And it turned out this place here where we are at the moment on the main street was for sale. But it was an absolute, again, there was a huge amount of work to be done on the thing. So we looked at it a few times, and then we decided that would actually, we'd go for it and buy it. And in fairness to Donald Ryan, he did a marvellous job for us. In fairness, from foundation, we knocked it completely, and from foundation to roof. And again, from the time we started up here, it was like a whole new scene. And from the day we opened the front door, we have never looked back.
Of course, then we joined Euronics, and that was the game changer.
That was the big key, wasn't
the
it?
big key,
Business,
because
yeah.
I mean the business had rolled on, and market trends had changed, and unless you were part of a bigger organisation, you just physically wouldn't exist. So Euronics came along, we joined Euronics, and like it just changed the whole event completely. Now we're suddenly part of a much bigger scene, more appliances, far more variety for customers.
Better prices.
Better prices, yeah. Prices competitive prices across Ireland. So now we could compete for the first time with the big sheds, and that's you know. And but going back to customers, the customer is as important today as they were back then. And as far as we're concerned, whether you have 25,000 square feet or a small premises, it still gets back to the customer, whether it be Euronics or whatever other organisation you're joined. It starts with the customer and it finishes with the customer. That's still our mantra for today.